There's a drug that extended lifespan in every single organism it's been tested in: yeast, worms, flies, and mice. In mice, it extended life by up to 26%, even when started late in life. It's FDA approved, it's been used safely in humans for decades, and right now, thousands of people are taking it off-label for longevity. It's called rapamycin, and the science behind it might represent the biggest breakthrough in aging research since we discovered DNA. Here's everything you need to know. In 1972, researchers collected soil samples from Easter Island, known locally as Rapa Nui. In those samples, they found a bacterium producing a compound that suppressed immune function. They named it rapamycin, after the island. Initially developed as an immunosuppressant for organ transplant patients, rapamycin sat in relative obscurity for decades. Then, in 2009, everything changed. The National Institute on Aging's Interventions Testing Program, the gold standard for longevity drug testing, published results showing rapamycin extended lifespan in genetically diverse mice by 9 to 14%. This was unprecedented. No drug had ever reliably extended mammalian lifespan in a rigorous multi-site study. But here's what made it truly remarkable. The mice were already 20 months old when treatment started, equivalent to roughly 60 human years. Even late-life intervention produced significant lifespan extension. Rapamycin works by inhibiting a protein complex called mTOR, mechanistic target of rapamycin. And mTOR might be the single most important pathway in aging biology. Think of mTOR as a growth switch. When nutrients are abundant, mTOR is active. It tells cells to grow, divide, and build new proteins. But chronic mTOR activation, which happens when we constantly eat in a nutrient-rich environment, accelerates aging through multiple mechanisms. Overactive mTOR suppresses autophagy, allowing damaged cellular components to accumulate. It drives cellular senescence, it promotes inflammation, and it impairs stem cell function, reducing your body's ability to repair itself. Rapamycin partially inhibits mTOR, mimicking the molecular effects of caloric restriction without actually restricting calories.
The human data is emerging rapidly. A 2014 study by Manek et al., published in Science Translational Medicine, gave elderly volunteers low-dose rapamycin analogs for 6 weeks. The result? A 20% improvement in immune response to influenza vaccination, the opposite of what you'd expect from an immunosuppressant. At low doses, rapamycin appears to rejuvenate rather than suppress the immune system. The Pearl trial, completed in 2023, tested weekly rapamycin in healthy adults over 50. Preliminary results showed improvements in multiple aging biomarkers, including grip strength, gait speed, and inflammatory markers, with minimal side effects at the doses used. Current off-label protocols typically use 3 to 6 milligrams once weekly, a fraction of the daily doses used in transplant patients. At these intermittent low doses, the side effect profile appears manageable. Let's be honest about the limitations. We do not yet have a completed randomized controlled trial proving rapamycin extends human lifespan. The mouse data is compelling, but mice are not humans. The off-label longevity community is essentially running an uncontrolled experiment. Potential risks include impaired wound healing, increased susceptibility to certain infections, and metabolic effects, including insulin resistance with chronic use. No physician can currently prescribe rapamycin for longevity based on completed human trials. Those who take it are making a calculated bet based on extraordinary preclinical data and emerging human evidence. It's a reasonable bet, but it is still a bet. If you're not ready for pharmaceutical mTOR inhibition, you can modulate this pathway naturally. Intermittent fasting suppresses mTOR during the fasted window. Exercise, particularly endurance exercise, activates AMPK, which counterbalances mTOR. And specific compounds, including EGCG from green tea and spermidine from aged cheese, show mild mTOR modulating effects. Rapamycin represents a paradigm shift, the first drug that might actually slow human aging rather than just treating age-related diseases one at a time. The preclinical evidence is the strongest we've ever seen. The human trials are underway. Subscribe for weekly longevity science. Next up, the gut microbiome and how your second brain controls